What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today, we're going to be reacting to the top 10 British phrases that always confuse the rest of the world. You know, I can't really think of any British phrases off the top of my head that I really find confusing. I've definitely heard some in the past, but nothing really comes to mind when I sit here and try to think of some new ones. I actually did a video, I think it's going to be somewhat similar to this, maybe about a month or so ago. It was funny British idioms, and I thought that video was really interesting. And so if this video is anything like that one, I'm definitely going to like this video. So let's go ahead and check out the top 10 British phrases that always confuse the rest of the world.
Don't you remember the Crimbo Din Din we had with the grotty Scotch bin?
Oh, the one that was all sixes and sevens.
Yeah, she was a travelling striper. The Morris dancer lived up the apples and pears.
Let's not waffle on and over-egg the pudding, or we'll be here for donkey's years. So, welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 British phrases that will always confuse the rest of the world. For this list, we're celebrating some bog-standard bits and bobs of British English, but...
Bog standard, that means average, right? I think I heard that on a grocery store video, if I'm not mistaken. Bog standard kind of means more of like just average, middle of the road type of situation, right?
There's a spanner in the works because these sayings make no sense to anyone else.
Spare me the confused innocence, Jane. We're both far too long in the tooth.
Number 10, Bob's your uncle.
This will go in here, and Bob's your uncle, abracadabra, is this your card?
Bob's your uncle? What is Bob's your uncle? I have no idea what that means. Bob's your uncle. Okay. What does that mean?
No.
Even if Bob really is your uncle, what's he got to do with anything? A saying said whenever a plan is executed, non-Brits might feel more familiar with the similar and Americanized idiom, hey presto, or the French phrase, et voila. Some linguists trace Bob's your uncle back to Arthur Balfour, who succeeded his uncle Lord Salisbury as Prime Minister in 1902. Balfour's critics claimed he only got the job thanks to his familial connections.
Bob's your uncle. Okay?
Number 9,
Okay, that one, I'm like still confused on what that means. Like, what does that mean? Hold on.
British English, but there's a no sense.
Spare Jane, we're
Your uncle.
Your uncle, abracadabra, is this your card?
No.
Even if Bob really is your uncle, what's he got to do with
I
anything?
gotta rehear this because I'm really trying to figure out what this means. Bob's your
A
uncle.
saying said whenever a plan is executed, non-Brits might feel more familiar with the similar and Americanized idiom, hey presto, or
Hey presto, I don't even know what that means either. So I literally don't know what this means. Bob's your uncle. Like I still have no clue. Let's see.
the French phrase, et voila.
Et voila. I've heard presto before. I don't really know what it means though. And I've heard et voila or whatever that is, but okay, that's one I have no clue what that means. All right. I'm just gonna have to go with it. Maybe someone in the comments can explain that in a way that I'll understand because I still don't get it.
While boot sales are a kind of cultural institution in the UK, this term can bewilder anyone not born in Blighty. First off, the car boot itself causes confusion, given that American English calls a car's storage space its trunk. But then there's the actual concept itself, which makes a stateside garage sale seem very small fry.
That is 182 bottles of body lotion. I was going to sell them at a car boot sale.
Driving for miles to show off your second-hand stuff on a fold-up decorating table, and somehow selling Delia Smith's Christmas cookbook from 1997 for £2.50, it's all brilliantly British.
Well, Christmas time is party time.
Number 8, a good old...
Okay, so a boot is what we would know in America is the car trunk, right? That's what it sounds like. I mean, a trunk sale is basically what he was saying with a boot sale. So, okay. That one I get. I think I may have heard that one before, but I'm not sure. For some reason, that really doesn't surprise me. But anyway, a good old chin wag. What does that mean? A good old chin wag?
old chinwag.
No good stood round here chin wagging. Human race should gossip all day.
Enjoyed by friends over a coffee, a pint, or on the walk home from work, this basic Britishism breathes new life into any conversation. With satisfying literalness, the term triggers anyone who hasn't heard it before to imagine chins rising, falling, and flailing around like an excitable dog's tail. Of course, given that a good old chinwag is the same as an overdue gossip, the mental image of mouths speaking quickly isn't too far away.
Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
Number 7, have
Okay. I still don't really... I'm waiting for him to say what it is, and then it's like, I think he's explaining it, and then I'm like not catching it when he's explaining it, because it sounds like it means that someone's talking a lot. That's what I got from that. Your chin is wagging because you're not shutting up, you're talking. Is that what that means? That's what I think that means. Okay, so I'm gonna go with that unless someone in the comments wants to tell me that that's not exactly what that means. I believe it's basically your chin wagging means you're basically talking like crazy. All right, let's continue. Have a butcher's. I mean, obviously I know what a butcher is. Have a butcher. Okay, let's continue. I don't know what that would mean as a phrase. Have a butcher's.
A butcher's. And so, we've come to Cockney rhyming slang.
East End, you say? I wonder what it's like these days.
So much of British English is born out of London colloquialisms, but if you aren't well versed, then you can quickly struggle. You might say you're Hank Marvin if you're hungry because you're starving, or you'll refer to someone you like as your old china, as in china plate, as in mate, as in friend. But to have a butcher's is one of the most widely used phrases in London and elsewhere, and it simply means to have a look. Butcher's hook, look, see, it's simple.
See what we've got. Let's have a butcher's, eh?
Number 6,
Okay, so have a butcher's means to, like you just said, it means to have a look. Like, come here, have a butcher's. Like, if I want someone to have a look at something, come here, have a butcher's. Okay, okay. I don't really understand where that would come from, but I mean, I understand what have a look means. So I mean, okay. Chuffed to bits. Chuffed to bits. Okay, I can honestly say this list is absolutely, he's absolutely right so far. I've never heard of any of these. These are just so confusing to me. Like, unless he explains them to me, I would literally never have a clue what these mean. Chuffed to bits. All right, let's continue.
Chuffed to bits.
I played 5 eggs this morning. 5! How chuffed with that I was. Just.
It sounds very painful, but it's actually quite pleasant. In today's lingo at least. We Brits describe ourselves as chuffed whenever something has gone exceptionally well, like A-star exam results or a favourable football score.
Oh.
However, the etymology of chuff includes it being used as a 16th century adjective for an overweight person and as an alternative noun for someone's bottom or their genitalia. If something's up the chuff, it's in a bad way. So, the chuff to bits now means excessive happiness is quite a considerable leap.
So I'm happy about that.
Yes.
Sure.
Number 5.
Okay, so at first he was saying it was like a good thing. Like, you chuffed to bits. You're so happy. Everything's going great. Something, it was amazing. But then he made it sound like it's not always a good thing. Is chuffed to bits always a good thing? But then if someone would say it's chuffed up, I don't know if that would be a way you would phrase it, but if someone said it was chuffed up, would that mean that it was like bad? I don't know. That one's another confusing one to me that I still would have to have more explanation on to really understand exactly what he was saying there. Chuffed to bits. What a plonker. A plonker? I don't know. These words are so interesting, though. Chuffed, plonker. Okay, let's continue. Let's just continue.
What a plonker.
Plonker.
A phrase made famous by Del Boy, usually at Rodney's expense. Plonker fronts a family-friendly set of soft British insults, all designed to deride someone for their stupidity, but usually in a playful way.
You plonker.
Oh.
As well as the only fool's favourite, there's pillock, prat, nitwit, and numpty, while you might also salute someone's waning intelligence by saying they're a few sandwiches short of a picnic. Only in Britain does it make sense to match a person's mental prowess with what they might be having for lunch. Number 4.
Okay, so I think I get that one. That one's kind of like, it's like a playful way to call someone an idiot. You know, you idiot, come on. Like, you know, someone say that to your friend, come on, don't be an idiot. Or, you know, you don't really mean the person is not intelligent. You just kind of like, maybe they made a stupid choice or something like that. Is that kind of what that means? All right, I get that one, I think. Spend a penny. Oh, this one I learned on the funny English idioms video. Or was it funny? I don't know. Yeah, it was funny English idioms, I believe this video it was. I did that like a month and some change ago. Okay, I know this one.
Or spend a penny.
I believe.
To a traditional euphemism which sometimes confuses even British folk below a certain age, to spend a penny is to use the toilet.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, okay.
The term dates back to the mid-1800s,
You had to spend a penny.
when coin-operated locks were fitted onto lots of public loos, so there really was
look at that,
a
a new
charge
one.
if you needed
Yay.
to relieve yourself. A century or so later, and the cost of visiting the toilet had skyrocketed to 10 or 20 pence.
Man.
But the saying stuck around simply as a polite, indirect way of letting others know what you were up to.
Excuse me, Bruce, I have to spend a penny.
Go for your life, pal. Don't fall in.
Number 3, Sod's Law. Given that one
Sod's Law? Obviously, yeah, I have no idea what this would be. Sod is a piece of ground. I don't know I don't know. Let's check this out.
meaning of sod has the word relating to grass or turf, it can be tricky to see how Sod's Law started.
Why is it dispose? You keep on saying me.
Sod's Law?
It's often compared to
What?
Murphy's Law in America, though Sod's Law is slightly more severe. You could call it the exact opposite to a win-win situation. Red traffic lights when you're running extremely late, that's Sod's Law. Staying in for a delivery but missing it because you took a shower, that too. Booking a beach holiday but getting rain all week, good god it's annoying.
I could puke.
Number 2 on the
So that's basically means Sod's Law means bad luck, really, is what that means. That's what it sounds like.
pull.
On the pool, I believe I heard this one. Did I hear this one? This one looks familiar. I don't know if this was on that funny idioms video or not. But I know this one for some reason, or I think I do. Let's check it out.
A close cousin to what Americans call hooking up or getting
Yeah,
lucky.
okay,
Enter
yeah.
the city
That's
centre
right.
on a Saturday night, and you'll soon catch on. Whether someone's on the pull, they're pulling at that precise moment, or perhaps they've just been pulled by someone else, it all relates to the purposeful pursuit of romantic or sexual relationships.
Okay.
Want my advice? Yeah, go where the sex is.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And British slang terms for the various stages of pulling are pretty plentiful too. To chat up is to talk to snog is to make out with, and you can consult Austin Powers for the rest.
Very shagadelic, baby. Yeah.
Number 1, swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts as a phrase? Obviously, I know what a swing is, and obviously, I know what a roundabout is. The roundabout, you guys have a lot of those in the UK as a whole. We don't really have many of those in the US, honestly. But anyway, I don't know if he's talking about literally roundabouts you drive on, but because I don't understand how that would. I can't picture this phrase either.
An everyday idiom across the UK, today's winner roughly equates to nothing gained and nothing lost.
And I promise I will try my absolute hardest to bring your loved ones back to you, dead or alive.
Said whenever the pros and cons of a given situation seem to cancel each other out, the origins of the phrase are largely unknown, although most researchers agree on the obvious links to the children's playground, with both playtime options promising equal levels of fun. You might even favour the slide, but it swings and roundabouts really.
Well, that may or may not be true.
Well, it is true.
Well, it may or it may not be true.
That was really interesting. That was a really interesting list. At first, I was trying to picture this last one, swings and roundabouts, and how like he's talking about it's like something like two situations. You have something good and something bad basically happening, and they cancel each other out. And I can kind of see the roundabout reference because it's basically if you start in one place, you can go around and you can end up right back up where you started. And so that's kind of the scenario. If you have something good and something bad that cross each other out, you're basically where you started. So maybe that's why the roundabout reference is used there. I don't know. Swing, I don't really understand that. Maybe because you swing forward, you swing back, but in the end, you come back to where you started. I don't know. Maybe, but I gotta say they were this phrase, this title here is exactly right. These are very confusing to people in the rest of the world, I'm guessing, because they were very confusing to me, except for the two that I had heard before, Spend a Penny and On the Pull. Those were the only two I've ever heard before. The rest of these are completely foreign to me, and a few of these I still don't get. And a couple of them I think I might get, but I could be wrong on, even after hear them be explained. So boot, I understand, but Bob's your uncle, I still don't get it. I still don't get it. And there's a few others in here. I don't remember I think it was the butcher's. What, that one that I had? Yeah, that's one I think I don't really understand. Anyway, this is really interesting. I love these types of lists. It kind of reminds me of when we looked at that video on the funny English idioms. It was, just really interesting to see the difference in the way the English language is used. I mean, honestly, a lot of these are words that I've never even heard of, not just phrases. A lot of, I obviously haven't heard most of these phrases, but like, chinwag, that's a completely new word to me. I've never heard of it. Where was it? Here's going to show a plonker. Plonker? Never heard that word before. But yeah, this was really interesting, guys. I really enjoyed this list. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.